So we talked about kind of the reason why I joined the military and some of the things I've learned over the years. Wanted to recap on my narrative. So start from the beginning as a young sailor going through life, trying to keep up with my cousin, following in his footsteps, seeing him killed in action, struggling with that, overcoming that struggle and becoming a chief petty officer, and following in his legacy and his footsteps, doing a good job of keeping up that proud tradition, um, and continuing to succeed and do great things in the military. So this chapter here is wrapping it up about a different type of education, non-traditional students. When we make chief, we have ceremonies, and one of the ceremonies that we do is coming aboard as a newly pinned chief. So what we do is, we ring a bell. The bosun's mate here will pipe you on board. All the other chiefs and former chiefs and the audience stand and provide salute. You come on board and you drop your salute and you're officially a chief petty officer. It's a very important walk, something that every sailor, every career sailor looks forward to doing hopefully someday. Was fortunate enough to be selected and was able to do that. So that's one of the important things that we do as a chief. So my entire career, I have said, hey, if I wanted to go to college, I'd have been an officer, right? I don't need a college degree to be successful in life. And that held true for at least a little while. Being a young sailor, you're not really understanding much about the world and how things work. I was arrogant enough to think I didn't need a college education or that wouldn't do me any good, or my time was more valuable. Looking back and the fallacy of those thoughts, I have some regrets on those, but also the education that I received in the military has broadened my horizons and I think made me appreciate traditional education more than I would have if I had just went right into college out of high school. So I continued that narrative of not wanting to go to college because I'm an enlisted sailor, not an officer. Kind of held me back for a little while, but becoming a chief and being around senior enlisted and around a lot of intelligent people, and getting closer towards the end of my career, college is becoming more and more important. So here I am at Arizona State, pursuing my bachelor's, and all of these fit together and making my family proud, and following in the legacy of my cousin. So I continue to strive for betterment of myself, and obtaining a college degree is just one of those things. Uh, Along the way, if it so happens to get me promoted, that is great. But I do it for the education, for the betterment of myself and my sailors. The next step on this journey, currently up for a senior chief petty officer. The selection board begins in 9 days, as today is March 1st. So 9 days from now, the board will convene to select the new senior chief petty officers of the Navy. So hopefully my name will be on that list. I get to put this little star on my anchor. And that would be really cool. If not, no big deal. I'll just continue being a good chief, and I think that is what is important about all of that. Trying to follow in the legacy of my family, I think is a really big deal. Continuing in education leads me to another very important walk, and that is the walk to graduation, the walk down the aisle and across that stage to get the degree, and the satisfaction that I will have upon accomplishing that is not something that can ever be bought. Yes, you pay for it. You give money, money changes hands, but it's not. It's the internal experience and the academic growth and the personal growth that you experience that is invaluable in obtaining a degree. And the sacrifice that I've had to make to get to that point is something that I'm sure people understand. Pat Tillman and his family, they have experienced a lot of the same things that I've experienced. I recently applied for the Pat Tillman Scholarship, to carry on another legacy of service to community and to country, I would be extremely honored to take upon that mantle as well, and continue to do great things. So with that, I also signed up for the run coming up here pretty soon. Super excited about that, and then continue to just strive for excellence and all of these things that I've learned over the course of my life, can all be applied to obtaining the degree and going forward into the future, a very non-traditional way to obtain your college education. Thank you. Have a great day.